Okay, let's do Kingsmead. Let's say Kingsmead begins here. This is Rivertown, Kingsmead. This is the Durban ICC. It's Kingsmead all the way. So let's go to Kingsmead. It's a big area. It starts from here up to those last buildings at the end there. That is Kingsmead. It's a very big area. I'm not going to the side of the Durban ICC. I'm just gonna go through this side. Basically, this is the front main entrance when there are all the activities at the Durban ICC. That's the main hall. There's another hall behind, which is the older one. This one was built like 10 or 15 years later. All right. So in front is the Umlazi taxis. They are, I don't know why they are basically parking here, but they are. So we are in Kingsmead. Okay. I'm doing this properly. There's the people mover bus stop. Okay, every time I meet a lady who has got a child, they are born, I'm funny, I'm born. I want to name on this service. Alright, that's Kingsmead. This smart exchange, they've converted it to some not warehouse, but to a hardware. I don't understand why they would put a hardware here. This is not an area for hardwares. Alright, so that Kingsmead continues. Alright, we're not gonna go through this road. Maybe we will on return. I'm just going around Kingsmead for now. The road ends there, and that becomes Dick King. Just that narrow piece of the road, that's Dick King. Coming from this angle, going this way. That's the Durban Exhibition Center, the grey and light grey building there. Right. That's the second bus terminus. It starts there by Umlazi taxis, and then the second one and the major one is there by the workshop. This was for foreign exchange. As you can see, it's written EMAT exchange. So that's basically supposed to be preserved as such. I don't understand why would there be a hardware. I'm like, it is the Durban ICC behind and then hardware. Why would there be a hardware here? And then you've got the Reserve Bank. That's the hardware, and that's the Reserve Bank. How is the Reserve Bank? Okay, that's the Reserve Bank on this other side. There are renovations which are taking place. It's not usually dirty. They are neglecting cleaning just because there's all these constructions which are happening on the side. Alright, that's the workshop mall. I don't know if we put the workshop mall as part of Kingsmead, but okay, let's say it's still Kingsmead, the workshop mall itself. Okay, remember this road. That's Liberty, Towers, Shell House, Sanlam, Royal Hotel, etc. 320, Old Mutual, City Hall is this side. This is the workshop. SA Reserve Bank. All city parks in Durban have been damaged. They're not green. They're not green at all. It usually would be very, very green at this point. Alright, so that's Kingsmead. SA Reserve Bank is Kingsmead. And this is the Durban Exhibition Center. I'm trying to cross to the other side, but I'm just locked. Look, that's the Durban Exhibition Center, gate D. All right, let's cross. Okay, that's Kingsmead. I don't know if all of it is Kingsmead. And then that's the workshop. Those are the gardens of the workshop, but they used to be green. You can see they're dry. It's no longer as green as it was before. That's the Durban Exhibition Center. So that's Kingsmead, all of it. That's the passageway. Basically, if you were walking, say you are a wealthy person, you'd be walking from the Royal Hotel and then go around the workshop mall, go through there and then go to the Hilton Hotel. So there's supposed to be stuff that is interactive here to keep you busy. All right. All the people are sleeping, they're looking for jobs, they're not getting jobs, and all the jobs are given to foreigners, and then Zulus are said to be lazy, or black South Africans are said to be lazy by Indian employers and white employers and tenderpreneurs, so as to justify their non-action in the issue of illegal immigration as funded by the United Nations, white liberals, and all custodians thereof. All of this is Kingsmead. So basically these are parking bays underneath the grass. Those are parking bays, as you can see. Welcome to the workshop shopping center. Parking bays. This grass used to be very solid green. This grass. Check. This is summer. Alright. Okay, sengiphumile ngiza exhibition center or ngiza Kingsmead. Seliyafathaza. Ngishisa all along lapha elentuza endlini, and then bese ke seyaqala seliyafathaza. Ngalephi ke angazi. All right. I'm going to go 2008. Kingsmead. Alright. Okay, we should go for now. Upumalai, that was the exhibition center. You walk in and out using this overhead. That's overflow parking. That's overflow parking. But they're gonna build in all these areas. You see, there are two situations regarding Durban, or rather even more. Durban is hated by Johannesburg. Money guys is also hated by Capetonians. Those guys have always ruled South Africa in this white British economy or white capital economy that rules South Africa. Or later, the Broederbond economy is actually the one which hated Durban. When the Boere took over. So Durban has never had a fair share, whether it's through tourism, marketing and whatsoever. Alright. And then now you have got all the issues with the municipality. So there's Durban always suffers being shut down. So investors, they withhold investments. Before 1994, they were withholding because they hated the English who were in charge of KZN as Boere, all right? So they kind of like were punishing them, so which affected the Zulu, because again the Boere also hated the fact that the Zulus refused fake independence, because that was not real independence, it was fake independence. Dearest Lord, these Nigerians are all over. Lubelu Flooring, Queen's Beauty. When it's a beauty salon, it's not a beauty salon, it is the Nigerian takeover. Congolese and them, drugs and all. Alright. So this is all Kingsmead. So usually I'll be going that direction. That's the Hilton Hotel. So we're gonna go back that route. I think because I need to finish what I've started. So let's go this route. The parking overflow, Nancy Mall, Lapa, Maroon. They're gonna be building here. It's gonna be a very beautiful area, which is just being stalled by lack of investments, which is exacerbated by the poor management of the eThekwini, which is not as poor as other cities, honestly. But like I said, usually KZN has an unfair negative publicity. What happens in KZN is it gets blown 70 times out of proportion compared to other areas of South Africa. All right. When they speak, Durban is dirty, my brother, it is far better than Johannesburg's dirt. But ABSA and them invest in that dirty Johannesburg, but they depart from the city center of Durban in a very beautiful, neat street like Smith Street, and basically divest. How do you divest from a clean Durban city but invest in a pigsty Johannesburg and turn that area around to a beautiful ABSA headquarters and therefore developing Maboneng and all those areas alongside you? Those areas were horrible. Durban was far more beautiful than those areas. But in this injustice, they divested from Durban city, which was very, very clean in comparison to Johannesburg, but they invested in Johannesburg. These things happen all the time. There's no reason why they are not investing here, the money guys of Cape Town, except to create that scenario where if a place is not controlled by whites, they make it fade. Thank you. So now we're going past Kwamuhle Museum. It's places I've never visited, basically. So Kwamuhle Museum is very relevant to apartheid history and actually British colonialism history as well. So when you're entering the workshop from this direction, you enter like that. Okay, let's all call it Kingsmead still. I think it's a horrible day to videorize. There's too many people on usually empty streets. Everywhere I'm trying to videorize, there's people. Right? I don't like it when there's too many people because go on at my videorize and the likes. So this is Kingsmead, all of it. So I'm basically at the edge. It's just that I don't know if this is still Kingsmead now. Maybe all of that, the workshop included, is Kingsmead. It's fine. We see the workshop. So let's go to the end of Kingsmead, and then I'll come back via the road we used to enter Durban from the N3. 13 minutes. I'm doing well. I better keep it this way. This is basically your exit from Durban to N3. That's where we are. So at the robot there, that's N3. See, this is the exit. That across there is the entrance. Entrance, exit. It's N3, all of it. Okay, that's the Shemba Church, the Dugatole Temple. Thanks, at least they've kept this corner neat. Yeah, I've never seen these graves. Okay, I'm not crossing. There's those women now. So I'm actually crossing one. Dearest Lord, it's tough to be a black man in South Africa. Where's the Zulu man? Oh, thanks for they have crossed. So let me cross as well. Kingsmead. Trust me, I've walked here not a lot. I've never seen this graveyard. And it's got to do with military history. I can see from those graves because I am yet to go back to Umbilo, though. That's where the major graveyard is located, with a lot of soldiers who were buried there. So we'll do it next year. Okay, but I can see there's also graves of war there. of the military. I don't know what this graveyard is called. That's Grey Street Complex South, the most horrible area of Durban. It is too congested, the pavements are dirty. The buildings are neat, but the pavements are horrible. The Malawians have returned, who had been chased away by the Zulu. Under the GNU, they've returned. That's the road lodge. Maybe if we look at the road lodge, we'll be able to confirm then, are we still in Kingsmead? Because I'm taking all this area, Mina, as Kingsmead. That's the Guamashu taxi rank. That's the Guamashu taxi rank. And then that's the entry to McDonald's. That's the road lodge. Okay, that's McDonald's there. I think that was the first McDonald's to be built in KZN, this one. KZN was never keen on those brands, same as Burger King. I mean, KZN created Wimpy, you know, you understand? So, usually KZN doesn't follow Johannesburg trends in terms of eateries and the likes. That is also in terms of retail shops. The major MK here in KZN was always Spar. Whereas in Johannesburg it was like about ShopRite and then Pick n Pay. So you can see now that's entry, the exit. That's entry, the exit. Guamashu taxi ranks, Soldiers Way rank, and then that's Teachers Center there. And that's entry, the entrance. You're exiting. That's the railway line in between. That's entry, the entrance. Exit, entrance. Exit, entrance. Railway line in between. Thank you. So we call all of that. Let's call all of that what? Kingsmead. We call all of that Kingsmead. That's Grey Street Complex North Side. Okay, let's do this again. This is the N3 entering Durban. These are crossroads to various other areas of Durban towards the north. That's entry exiting. In between is the railway line. This building is famously called the Teachers Center. This is the decent side of Grey Street Complex, but that too is being overtaken by Nigerian saloons. Nigerian saloons is nothing but drug distribution centers on behalf of local drug lords, partnered with Nigerians, partnered with Mozambican soccer bosses and them. Yeah, that's basically what the mess is all about. We are being colonized by thugs. Thugs are more evil, or maybe just as evil as white colonizers. Let's put aside white settlers. White colonizers were brutal, but so are black thugs, or white thugs, or thugs on the whole. They are brutal. So at current, our country is being colonized by black criminals led by Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Limpopo. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I just say Kingsmead, guys. That's the Durban station, which is appearing there. This is a car dealership. They've changed names after 2020. The Durban station is that side. It is still Kingsmead. This is McDonald's. This is City Lodge from the other side. This is the back side of Kwamushle and all. So that's a hostel. It's a decent hostel. Thank you. All right. So now this is how you usually enter Durban. So what do I do here? I've got a video of this area. So I want to cross over to the other side. Okay, enter Durban. If you've crossed from Grey Street Complex, north side, then you are here in Kingsmead. This is Kingsmead. I've got to show this British architecture, which is very key to Durban history. So remember, we are in the area where there was a war between the English and the British and the Boer. Okay, ngapha na ngapha, so angazi ukuthi ngibabalekele kanjani. All right. So basically, Natural Science Museum, as you can see. All right. The war. Hence, you saw the other road on the other side called Soldiers' Way, which is basically where the soldiers would be marching towards the harbor, I guess, to get supplies and the likes. I don't know the history. I've not investigated it, but it's a clear message. It's Soldiers' Way, so clearly that's where the soldiers would have marched. Now, these areas where we are. Okay, as you can see, there's military base. It's a military base. So that house that I was looking at is actually a military base. Old Fort Road, that's the original name of this road. It's Old Fort Road. So this is a military base. Believe me when I say I have never realized that this is a military base. This is a military base. Just know these municipal offices in this area. I've always known these buildings, but this military base I've never seen. I've never noticed it's a military base. Old Fort got to be called K.E. Masinga. Alright, municipal workers. I'm gonna try and avoid videoizing them. But basically we're going towards the Old Fort Park. It's private property, but they allow us to enter. Alright, so you can basically sit and relax there or check the history and the like. So last week or 2 weeks back when I was videoizing, what was I videoizing last week? Because I came through here, but it wasn't Kingsmead that I was videoizing. There was construction vehicles there. Alright, so you see how it feels. This is basically Kingsmead. Kingsmead is basically areas of the municipality, electricity departments, and the like. So it's still basically the extension of what was called the British colonial economic power, where you had all the cluster of banks of the British Empire. This is development and planning. This, all right, where you had okay. Absa Bank is a colonial bank. You had a Standard Bank, had Old Mutual, you had Liberty Life, all insurance companies of the British. All right, so this is where we are. This is still by the entry to Durban. All right, that's where we are. That's where we were when we were going that direction. St. John, must note St. John all the time when you are basically in areas of power and control. There is a, I don't know, it's not conspiracy, but there's the association of this of St. John with Freemasonry. This you will see it also next to Park Station in Johannesburg. Same St. John. So you see, it was called Old Fort Road. Now it's called K.E. Masinga, and then that's basically the development and planning. So most municipality departments are this direction. I've never walked through there, but you can see Durban Electricity, that one which seems like it's zigzagging at the top, and that last building at the end, that's Durban Station. That's still Kingsmead. Hence I'm saying Kingsmead is very big. All right, it's a very big area. So here are the people who are helping us with nothing as residents and ratepayers of Durban, as they give our city to foreigners. It is all these guys. All right, so here's the old fort. This is the old fort. At least they are keeping their grass neat, because Durban grass is supposed to be like this, all right? No longer as clean as it were in the past, with all the vagrancy that is overtaking Durban as homeless people multiply here. Old fort, I'm sorry, Kingsmead, we're still in Kingsmead. That's the workshop mall there. I said it's part of Kingsmead. I hope it's still open to the public, but it's basically controlled by a family trust. We're not going to stay just to observe quickly. Just know it's 25 minutes already. 1908, so this is what it is. In 1908, the British War Office leased it to the Durban Light Infantry, and in due course, that's what it says. We can read. That's Old Fort. That's the Old Fort. That's where this space, after the British basically defeated us, the Zulus, I would say, let's say this was to be the last determiner of what happens to SADC and Sub-Saharan Africa. Because when the British defeated the Boer as a result of this area, and that guy John D. King, who managed to flee and go and seek help from the Cape, from East London or Port Elizabeth, I don't know, but he managed to break through the lines. This is how the fort was, as you can see. I don't know how that plastic got there. This place was forever clean, so I can see they are having challenges themselves as well. Hey, I don't know what's happening in Durban, but it's too much. They are being overtaken by floods of street dwelling people, because it can be sure in the evening they cross over and sleep here. All right. So my black people, they know this place is just the old fort. I'm sure most of them don't even know this is the space which made us to lose KwaZulu-Natal and SADC to the British. I don't think they know that. This is what I'm in the space. We came and prayed with Tumelo. We prayed for God to have mercy on us, the Zulu people, and free us from British economic oppression called the South African economy. So usually they would be having flags here, because there's no economic transfer that is happening. They are buying these fools. They started by buying ANC fools. We saw that even before 1994. We were clear Gucci ANC are sellouts, but there are people who were defending them. I mean, the PAC was talking all truths. Okay, the IFP was controversial. Till now, on the IFP side, we basically knew which were not sellouts, but clearly our leaders were busy with stuff we do not know, which we can only speculate, seeing the death of the IFP after 1994. They never fought with white people after 1994. They reconciled and then did nothing for the Zulu nation and for black South Africans. What did they fight for in all the 33 years? And then come and blame Zuma for the state of this country? No, that's a scapegoat. We had not even begun on economic transfer, so the actual enemy remains the same. So you can't bring or prioritize, say, let's say, for convenience sake, fine, Zuma is a criminal. I'm not saying he's a criminal, but let's say he is. Are you going to now basically focus on Zuma, the little criminal, and ignore the greater criminal who has taken trillions of rands from your country, who's taking and siphoning all your mineral resources, the whole Africa? And then if we speak about this, now we are socialists. I'm not a socialist. I'm not a communist. We're not fighting for socialism. So they hide behind the issues that Zuma is a socialist, this and that. Okay, which one is more dangerous? A Zuma socialist? How many great countries are run by socialism in Europe itself? Do they bomb their countries which are socialist? Is Norway a capitalist country, or is it a socialist, or is it mixed? So now, why would a socialist be more dangerous than a white liberal colonialist? How do you basically put all your effort into fighting with Zuma? How can he be that much of a threat to you as a black person? He can be a threat to white people, but you have a duty as a black man to fight for blacks from the stranglehold of the white economy. Nah, inkatha your journey ANC ekuthengweni abelungu sebeyi-GNU. That's Kingsmead Cricket Stadium. All right, so we're still in the fort. It's basically beautiful grounds to basically hang out. I just think we need to be decent human beings and give donations for the upkeep of this area, because we use it most. Yes, Durban is very humble. It's a humble city. They are not greedy. They are not like Johannesburg. But even if these places are given to us for free, but shouldn't we at least be giving certain contributions to assist these people to keep these places? It's heritage. It's heritage. I'm worried when you're looking at these writings, they basically getting damaged like that. So, yeah, it's supposed to look like this. Botanic Gardens. It's always like this, except this year. I don't know why this year good dragon. You can see there were structures here. These were structures which were preserved since the days of the war, so they kept them. They kept them as memory. All right, kind of like. We need to help these people. We need to help all these people, because this is Durban heritage. But look, here's the municipality right behind them. Obviously, the municipality would be sabotaging them, because they are sabotaging all our heritage and giving everything to Indian Muslims. But then the British and the Boer are not helping much because of their attitude, their racial attitudes. Because we're supposed to be defending the country from any type of colonialism, be it white colonialism, be it Islamic colonialism whatsoever. We need to defend the country. So right now the Muslims are winning. Cannon recovered from Grosvenor East, 1782. You see, these are important things that we are supposed to be preserving. All right, so that's basically the exit. I don't know, I'm sure there's people who stay here. All right, the chapel. There's a chapel. All right, to the chapel. If you think about it, the places like this could also be used as for camping if they so allowed. All right, for camping. Senator Churchill. All right. Okay. Let me ask a question from that gentleman I'm seeing across. All right, that's basically the area. Okay, this is the exit again. All right. The park is basically managed by the municipality, and then the buildings are private property. So you can see the municipality is basically sabotaging the buildings. They're not helping them with anything, whilst they're busy helping all the foreigners who are in our land. But what matters to us as South Africans is basically left to die. So who is the government of South Africa? It's people who hate South Africa. We are colonized by black foreigners, by Muslim Indians, we are colonized by someone. We are colonized by Muslim Indians, by black foreigners. We are still colonized by English or rather by not English now, but by Europeans, whereby the main future is the French, who are registered under Boere, but they are not Boere, they are Europeans, the Stellenbosch guys. Boere are settlers. Broederbond was basically Broederbond backstabbed the Boere community. They sold out the Boere community. They were sent to kind of like amass wealth and build the economy of the Boere nation in South Africa, but they sold out. The same thing that the ANC did to blacks who trusted them. The same thing which the IFP has just done to the Zulu people who trusted them. So all of them sell out. The Boere were sold out. The black nations of the ANC were sold out. The Zulu nation was sold out. So the Zulu nation was sold out last. Or maybe even first, I don't know, in 1923. When, but then for somebody to sell you out, it takes a Judas from your own nation. So we can't say the Zulus were sold out. I don't know how to walk this space, you know, because I need to show that area of Kingsmead, or maybe Nzokenangayo. All right, I think Shodele. So there's been a lot of selling each other out that has happened in this country. All right, and it seems people get easily sold, or they easily sell out. I don't know which snake they meet when they get to government to easily sell out. All right, the Moth building, you see these buildings a lot also here in Durban. Now I've started noticing them in Johannesburg. I never noticed them in Johannesburg before. Just Durban was arranged or organized in a manner which makes you see what you must see as part of the heritage of the city, whereas Johannesburg was set up as a money-making area. So even a statue which is significant, you can just walk past it and then see the foreigners always peeing against it, as if it's just a decoration, you know. Nedbank Hilton is struggling to make business, and this is caused by these punks called the Zulus of eThekwini municipality, who do not care about their city. Johannesburg, I can understand the sellouts here because we're different nations and we've got many earlier foreigners, so they wouldn't be patriotic to the country much. But when you are in a place like Durban, you are expecting people who are basically in their own land to defend their space, since they are the majority. But no, they are selling out. Zulus, ISIS. Okay, that's Kingsmead, Hilton. This is okay. That is why it's called Kingsmead Cricket Stadium. You see, it's called Kingsmead because it is in Kingsmead. So all this area I'm showing you is Kingsmead. What do we liken Kingsmead to in Johannesburg? It's the combination of part of Bramfontein when you are there by the civic center up the hill where the Joburg municipality sits, and then going behind to Parktown. But remember, in this one, we are still going to the Durban station. All right. So we're still within the CBD, so to say, but we can liken it to that area instead. Yeah, well. All right. I really don't know what's happening today. I can't be Gamnan. Like in the oh, that's Kingsmead Cricket Stadium there. Pavement. What the for? Is it how Fridays are? I guess that's how Fridays are. That's the Durban Metro Police there. It is the Durban Metro Police there. All right, that one with a white roof is the Durban Electricity, together with that one, or both of them as such. They never completed the project that they were doing there. Yes, yo. Okay. Bona sengishuthe ngashuta bese ivideo yakhona izotsheka. That's Kingsmead. So Standard Bank, what Standard Bank did was to move from Smith Street and relocate to here in Kingsmead. They didn't leave the inner city, see? Kingsmead Office Park. Kingsmead Office Park. Right? So all of this is Kingsmead. All of this is Kingsmead. Look at that. Like Standard Bank does respect our inner cities, that I can say. But because we are not disciplined financially, we keep on giving our monies to banks which do not care about us, which are quick to divest from black areas and the likes. I think we're supposed to be giving a lot of business to banks like Standard Bank, Itala Bank, and all the banks which care about black economic power. Why people are giving business to FNB? Oh, they keep on telling you, hey, it's good for business and that. Where are those black business people that it is good for? We are now at Durban Station. Where are they? What difference are they making in our black townships? In the goodness of their FNB? I don't see that. They've got wonderful packages. What are they? Yeah, I'm ignorant on those matters. Teach me and show me how those wonderful packages are helping the black race or the black nations of South Africa, because I don't see. That's the Durban Station. We're not going there. We all know the Durban Station. Agcwele namhlanje. Yazi zonke le ndawo enginophambana nabantu kuhlezi ku-empty kungekho bantu. Angithi ngicasulwa ukuthi uma ushutha kuba ngathi ushutha abantu. Alright, that's Durban Station. Amabhasi angena lapha ajikele ngale. As you can see, that's the board showing Durban Station. All of it begins here, and there's a wonderful big church at the third floor. It is basically called what? The station. I forgot the station what, but it's a church. It's a multiracial church. It's a great church, like Durban Christian Center. See, Durban Metro Electricity, Durban Station. All right, we are still in Kingsmead. Kingsmead, all of it. You see, you can sit and relax here by Durban Station. All of this is Durban Station. Up to that white building that is appearing there, it is Durban Station, all of it. I don't know when it was built, but when I got here in 1993, it was already like this. Actually, it was far more beautiful. It had wonderful glass covers up on top of those escalators that you'll see at the front there. Kind of like whoever designed those is the same person who designed the Durban bus terminus, which is basically at the beginning of Kingsmead. So Kingsmead starts where? There at Liberty Life. Yeah, so we're still in Kingsmead. See how big the Kingsmead is. It's a sparsely populated area, if you can put it that way. They can do more to actually bring more buildings, because when I look at this CR Swart, formerly notorious police station, which was like your John Foster in Johannesburg, they've got large areas which are unused, vacant. That building there, it's unused. It used to be where policemen stayed. I'm sure in the 80s when we basically fought them because of this wickedness of theirs that they are doing even today. That entrance was very beautiful. It was not corrugated iron, it was glass, kind of like it was like waves. It was very beautiful. Those escalators were operating all the time. So it was kind of like the design thereof was similar to the design of the bus terminus there, because that too was glass. It was changed after 1998. Yeah, after I think this one by 1998, this was gone already. All right, you can see Moses Mabhida further on. I'm gonna propose Kingsmead ends at that dilapidated police building. We're not going there. There's nothing to see. What you're seeing is all there is, and then there's is it Telkom or Postnet? There's Postnet down the road. We're not going to post office thugs. Some of the people who have basically crippled our country. We're not going there. All right. This garage was very neat, but I can see it's no longer as neat as it were. All right. The people mover bus tends to turn here. All right. So this is now Somtseu Road. Here we are. We're still in Kingsmead. Now, body Yazisho Kingsmead. We're still in Kingsmead. This car wash has got a lot of illegals. So you see, we're still within the city. That's the North Beach. You see how big Durban is? There's where Kingsmead begins. That's North Beach here. I don't know why he's moving. He's seeing me approaching, and then he basically moves the car. What for? I've got no idea. Durban station is Kingsmead. Let's say CR Swart is Kingsmead as well. See? So we are on Somtseu Road. Somtseu Road has a rich history. It was an Indian area in the 40s, and then apparently Buthelezi would kind of like be meeting with Indians here. He's had cordial in relations with his priorities, the Indians, and his priorities, the white English, for many years, long ago. As you can see, that his IFP fights for Indians and whites who don't vote for it, whilst using Zulu votes, the Zulus they don't care anything about. Zulus get locked up in prison for selling dacha, get bombed and shot to death by the SADF for basically selling dacha. And then comes one white man of the IFP who is loved by Buthelezi, who is dying, and then he basically fights for, you see, that's Somtseu. He fights for the legalization of dacha for his own self, and the IFP is behind him, and they win the court case because now their white man is dying. All right. He's the guy that Bongani and some of us suspect introduced Buthelezi to Freemasonry. I believe Buthelezi became a Freemason. That's what I believe. I believe he became a Freemason. That's the Hindu temple. Like I was saying, it was an Indian area, you see. So that shop has now finally closed. They struggled for many years. It's an old shop. Because we used to park in these areas when we were coming from the Free State. So I've always known there's the shop there. So it was operational all throughout the ages. And as you can see, it has finally closed. Dead. All right. Now check the spaces which are in this precinct. All these front spaces. You can build how many buildings here? And bring them to basically the pavement. How many buildings can you build here? So if they want to congest these spaces, it's not the Hoy Park and all those places that they need to basically destroy. They must keep them and then utilize these spaces more efficiently, build more. Why is Sir Arswat having such large space, which they hardly use, by the way? What are they having that space for? Durban Magistrates Court. That's where we are. And that's the entrance to the Kingsmead office park. Oh, God help Itala Bank to basically not fall. ABSA wants to take over for their white interests. This bank has, or rather helped Zulu people to prosper. It is said what the African National Congress did to it to negatively affect its performance, but that bank is basically patriotic. It is the power of the Zulu nation. It must not fall because of evils of the ANC. God help Itala Bank. Kingsmead. Okay, still on something. I was letting these people pass, and the other one is peeing. So it's still Kingsmead. And that's North Beach, still on Somzeu. The new school with blue window sills. That's the new school. It's for what do you call it? But it is a kepe. Yeah. It's all the fields, playing fields or play fields. See, Kingsmead Office Park. Okay, this is now African Bank. Okay, so we're still in Kingsmead. So this is where Kingsmead ends. No. You see that brown building at the front there is still Kingsmead. Okay, it's basically those sports areas, Hoy Park and all the stuff there. So all of that is still Kingsmead. But we're not going to go to that other side because we have that side on the video where I was videoizing North Beach. All right. So we'll just finish from the other side where there's a lot of other offices. But all of this is Kingsmead. We're going to Ukhozi FM, UNISA, and Nedbank, Durban ICC. We're going to that side of Kingsmead. But all of this is Kingsmead. We're still in the city center. There's Maharani in the Elangeni Hotel. Durban is very big. I think I'm gonna have to divide this video into two. We've already crossed the 50 minutes mark. So I'm gonna start the second portion there at Ukhozi FM. That's SABC, that zigzag building. It's the studios. So that's still Kingsmead. So you see, there's still all these bases where they can build offices, hotels that they want to build without touching those sports areas. We need all the sport codes in Durban within the city. It can't be about Ivan Khoza and his soccer. Al Baraka Bank, it's the Muslim, it's the Islamic bank. I think these are untouchable banks of the Muslims. And when I say untouchable, I'm saying we recently are being shown that SARS is owed 520 or 47 billion, 547 billion that has not been collected by SARS. The same SARS that has put or prioritized Mamkhize and them into prison, or rather into facing consequences for not paying tax. I said right when Mamkhize was being targeted that she is being targeted. It's got nothing to do with justice. I said it's because of the GNU. They are targeting Zulus for crimes that Zulus have done or are doing but they are not targeting Limpopo, Eastern Cape, Free State, and all these other thugs. And they never touch white criminals. They never touch white criminals. Still Kingsmead. White criminals get away with all evil, and their crimes are in trillions of rands. But you're gonna prioritize Mamkhize just because sellouts of the IFP and ANC have come together with colonialists called the DA, and then you're targeting the black people who have made wealth, which makes white people angry. If white people were about crime, they would have stopped criminal activities themselves. They don't. They are not against crime. They are against crime done by blacks. They are against crimes done by blacks which affect their money, or the money that they've made through the wickedness that is called their economy. And then you join them. You're supposed to be fighting for blacks. You join those wicked, evil people and fight your own blacks. Sis. Now, in this 547 billion, is it blacks who owe that money? Is it blacks? No. It is exactly whites and Indians. Did you check these banks? I'm sure you didn't. Who is a criminal? It's we, Zulus. How much have we stolen in the theft of the world that is happening here in South Africa? Zulus have stolen 0.001% out of the total of 100% that has been stolen. White people have stolen 90%. 85%. Indians have stolen 10%. Black foreigners and all the other black nations have stolen another 5%. And you are putting TV on Zulus every day for a 0.001% theft. That's a war. It's SABC Studios. That's where Ukhozi FM is located. And this is UNISA. UNISA is small, and then they built a new UNISA and then sold it within 5 years. The new UNISA which they built is there on the other side where Rivertown begins. So they built it. They saw the need to build an extension of UNISA, and then in no time, we're still in Kingsmead. This is UNISA, etc. All right. Now, within 5 years of building the new UNISA, they sold the building. And I learned the people who are running UNISA are thugs of Zimbabwe. Thank you. Now, alright, because we're now coming to this part of Kingsmead. So let's do this Kingsmead portion separate, because I don't want to lose all this information that I've recorded by a stupid error. That's Hilton, that's SABC, that's Nedbank. This is Kingsmead. This is UNISA. We're coming from there. All right, thank you.